One of the most intriguing thing about prayer is the position of the heart. It's not about the lips, it's not about the words, it's about the heart. The heart is the prayer. If the lips moves and the heart is not there, the prayer does not have impact. So anytime we gather on our knees to pray, or we're in a position where we're gathered to pray, everything should be left out of the table, and our heart should be. Our heart should be. The Bible declares something in the book of 1 Samuel 2. It said, and Hannah prayed. And one of the first things that came out from her mouth was, my heart rejoiced in the Lord. My heart rejoiced in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more so exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased. So that the barren had borne 7, and she that had borne many children was feeble. This was a prayer of a woman who was mocked, who was looked down on, who was ridiculed. But unlike Hannah, she didn't give in to the situations in her life. She didn't decide to wait. She didn't decide to just sit by the words that the husband spoke to her. She took her own life in her hands. Woman, it is time to rise. It is time to go beyond the emotions, the tears. It is painful. It hurts. The things that have been said about you, it hurts. But I want you to know there is somebody you can take up your matter onto, and that is God. And be like Hannah. When she stood before that altar, when she stood before God, she wept and cried. And even the prince came to her and said, woman, why art thou drunk at this time of the day? She looked at the prince and said, I'm not drunk. I'm only a woman with a burden in her heart. There are too many burdens carried by women. The burden of children, the burden of marriage, the burden of ourselves as a woman. Too many a woman carries. But I tell you, there's something God has given to us as a woman, as women, and that is the power of prayer. The power to get down on our knees and pray. And when we pray, heaven hears the answers. And that is why the position of the heart is very important in the place of prayer. It's not the lips. It's not the too many words. It is the heart. It is the heart. Bible declares, when Zion travailed, she brought forth. How was Zion likened to a woman? Because in the heart of a woman are so many burdens. In the heart of a woman is so many tears. In the heart of a woman is so many pains. It is when Zion travailed. When you travail, you will bring forth, woman. When you travail in prayer, when you travail on your knees, when you travail seeking Jehovah, you will bring forth. 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 And Hannah continued in verse 6. She said, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail, child of God. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he turn upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. Those were the words of Hannah in the place of crying out as a barren woman. She was tagged one. I don't know what they have tagged you, child of God. I don't know what name it is that you are being called by, like Rahab. She was only known as Rahab the harlot until an encounter happened. Hannah was known as the barren woman until she came to a point in a place in her life where she no longer wants to be termed by that name, where she no longer wants to be called by that woman who never had a child. She stood before God and she cried out and said, give me a child and I'll give that child back to you. It was like a challenge before God. She cried out. Even though the husband had promised her everything in life, oh, you are what more to me than children. No. But daily tormented by Penina and eschewed in the place of prayer. She cried out to her maker, not to man. She ran to the one person who created her, the one person who understood her, the one person who can settle the issues in her life. She ran to the altar. Woman, run to the altar. Run to the altar. Run to the altar. It is time for you to settle that issue with God. It's time for you to lay it before God. It is time for you to talk to God about it. It is in you, woman. It is in you, daughter of Zion. It is in you when Zion travail. When you travail, you will bring forth. You will bring forth. That child may be lost, but it's not all that lost. It is only lost when you conclude in your mind that child is lost. But when you take it on the altar, lay it before God, he restores. He is a rebuilder of broken walls. He is a rebuilder. He restores what have been lost. He said, the years the locusts have eaten, the years the canker worms have eaten. He says, I will restore back to you. So that will restore. And we restore if you are willing to stand in the gap. If you are willing, woman, to seek him in the place of prayer, to seek him, and cry out like Jabez, oh, that I may be more honorable. I may be honorable. It's easy for man to tag people by the things they're going through. But I tell that's not the script of God. The enemy always like to tag us with that name. But the things that we are going through, and the moment we begin to accept those things become a reality. But those things are not the truth. The reality and the truth of the matter is what God has spoken concerning you. And I pray that God will bless you, God increase you. If you're blessed by this, hit the subscribe button. God bless you.